And welcome back to the Don't Make This Weird podcast. I'm your host, Heather. And with me, as always, I have Tony sitting next to me so I can punch him in the throat if I need to.
Bring it.
And Chris O'Neill.
Yo.
Also, our intern, Nate. And then we'll get to our special guest here in just a minute. But guys, first, how was your week and how was your weekend?
Pretty boring. Still
pretty boring, basic. That's good, right?
We had Denise's granddaughter over the weekend, and she's lots of energy and lots of fun. So
that's good.
It was kind of busy. We got a puppy. Put a deposit down on a puppy.
What kind?
Nice.
Pitbull.
Nice.
Little girl.
Yeah, you guys were saying that you're going to after the incident.
Yeah. We got a pitbull.
I don't blame
We're
you.
only feeding her people.
Only feeding her people.
That's all we're feeding.
That's
her.
Awesome.
But once a week.
I know some people that lived up north that actually gave gunpowder to their dogs and made them just batshit crazy.
Yeah, that's good policy.
What about you, Tony? How was your week? How's your week been?
My week's been insane of trying to schedule guests, and of course, now that we have that 4-letter word on the ground here in the middle of the armpit of the thumb.
Shit.
It makes it difficult for guests and stuff to go, oh, hey, yeah, we're going to travel 4 hours one way and hopefully not die because the roads are absolute garbage.
So there may be a couple times where you don't actually have guests in the studio,
or me,
or Chris. We might have to bring him on remotely or bring the guest on remotely because it's already showing us that winter is going to be not so fun, I don't think.
We'll have you call in, Chris.
Right.
Yep. So, and I'm in the middle of starting we just got 10-hour shifts now. So I'm busy doing that.
So you're working 10-hour shifts as a stripper?
No. At Bronner's with ornaments.
Bronner's, the big
Painting
wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
There's still glitter. It's still a stripper.
So if you guys want personalized ornaments, you know where to go.
I didn't know Bronner's had strippers.
No, apparently they do. They have like the candy canes and
that's stripers.
That's
different.
Sorry about the pronunciation.
But enough about us tonight in studio. Our special guest is Jeremy. Not Jeremy. Jeremy.
Am I on now?
You're on.
You're on. You're live.
You know what? It's
Welcome.
awesome to be here with you guys.
It's good to see you. It's been a while since we got to see you.
Yeah, it's been it's probably been a year since.
Close to it.
Tony came on here with me for lunch the other day.
Yeah.
That's good.
But seeing the whole crew.
We were doing the math today and figured out that you and I have known each other for 15 years.
Dude.
That's a long time to put up with this guy.
No kidding.
Jeremy Piven from Gross Point Blank. 15 years, man. 15 years.
Nice.
That's been crazy. Yeah, we were talking about some of the old bands and stuff and some of the musicians that he's just had at his disposal. I mean, Donnie and then
Doffenbach, yeah.
Just incredible musicians. I mean, you were talking about the one gig you guys did that he was drinking a pitcher of beer and just hammering on with one hand.
Yeah,
on the bass.
He's playing a 5-string bass and hammering on, and a full pitcher of beer in his other hand, and we're just looking at him, and he's just not missing a note, not doing. We're like, okay, dude, all right.
Now, is that the fretless bass?
No, well, he switched. He would bring his fretless and he was bringing his 5-string depending on the song. But yeah, he opened up with, like I told you, that second set.
Yeah.
We always opened up with Hotel California.
Right.
And of course, there's that big intro with Hotel California. It's normally, an arpeggiated guitar on the bar chords.
Right.
And Ryan proceeds to tell us between sets, he's like, hey, guys, I'm going to open up the song. So the guitar player's looking at him going, okay, buddy, you got this? Are you sure? And he got up there, man, and he did this hammer-on, finger tap of the whole intro, and it was so awesome. And he hadn't done it in practice, so he totally surprised us.
Yeah.
And he did it so awesome. You know how when you get to the end of that, there's that bass, the drum hits. Dun, dun, not a doc does it. And we all came in late because it was so awesome. We were mesmerized by what he was doing. And we're just like, oh my God, that was so awesome. We're like, oh wait, we got to play the song.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I've been blessed to be around a lot of really, really good musicians. And I've told Tony for since I've known him, and most of the people around me, I play music, play instruments, bass, guitar, and piano. I don't really do drums, but I play those 3 instruments because somebody else isn't there to play it for me, so I can just sing.
Right.
Because that's my main thing. So I've been blessed to jam with a lot of really cool people, and it's been awesome in my life. So
that's awesome. I'm glad to hear. Like, it's nice to have friends that are talented.
Oh yeah.
I love having so many talented friends. Speaking of friends, we have the chat blowing up already.
Wow.
Ava Maple Baby says hi. Nature Beauty says hi.
Up,
Wheezy
guys?
says, well. What's up, my peeps?
Wheezy.
At Hunt
Wheezy's deer
Camp.
hunting. Yeah.
He says, I'm at deer camp making these guys listen, so send some love up here to
Nice.
Rose City. And these stranger danger weirdos I'm with. LOL. Welcome, guys. Hope you guys are bagging some bucks or just pecking off
Doing
a dough,
something.
I guess, if that's what you're going for. Thanks for tuning in, you guys.
Venison jerky would be greatly appreciated in this
Yeah.
studio.
Some summer
Yes.
sausage. I got a buddy down in Indiana right now, and this first thing he's like, I'm going hunting, man. I'm like, summer sausage, bro. Summer sausage.
That's when you have to wait to have it.
We love our listeners.
Shoot it
too,
now,
'cause
we'll eat it later.
We love our listeners too, because they're literally all over the place. And it's funny that Wheezy's at deer camp, because aren't you supposed to be listening to like the Yoopers and the
Right.
30-point
You know,
buck
it
or
gets
whatever?
old.
I messaged him on the way, and he's like, "Hey, show tonight." He's like, "That's right, I'm going to deer camp." He's like, "Hey, but if I got internet, I'll tune in."
Nice.
And he's good.
Nice.
Thanks, we appreciate
He's
it.
here.
Thanks, Wheezy.
Yeah, my honey's up there in Standish, I think, hunting right now. So
Right?
hopefully,
So we
get
got love
some-
all over the
Yeah.
map.
Gotta
today.
That's
make sure you
awesome.
don't shoot the
That's
locals
awesome.
up there, because you can't really tell.
Is that Wheezy calling?
No. My sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you can get real fed up with the Yoopers after just a few minutes.
That's insane, man.
My
Boomity
family's,
boom.
my family's from the UP.
Oh.
Yeah.
It tastes like shop.
The tourist trap up there, the Yoopers tourist trap, was not just a destination. It's kind of a mecca for Yoopers up there.
Which one?
The Yooper tourist trap. They actually have the Yoopers when you hear the
that's like
songs.
what it's
There's
called.
literally a store up there that's like this. Yeah, and they call it literally. It's called the tourist trap.
And
the
they make
Yoopers
millions.
tourist trap.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's literally a store
Brilliant.
up there in the UP, and you go in there, and it's a tourist trap. Yeah.
I was going to say, what, like Escanaba on the Moonlight or what, man?
Right.
No, just think of every cheesy door plaque and bumper sticker,
The singing
and
fish.
house plaque. Yes,
Yeah.
Billy
Oh,
Bass,
yeah, Billy
all that
Bass.
stuff, and then a whole bunch of Made in Michigan, plaques and stuff like that mixed
Sure.
into there, and that's that place. I mean,
Right.
Oh,
That's
wow.
crazy.
there's not a square inch that's left untouched. It's
There's-
just
Mhm.
There's a lot of dishonesty in the UP.
Is there?
Yeah, everybody has the best pasty.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
Everybody. UP's
He
best
is correct.
pasty. UP's
I was
best
like,
pasty.
I'm like, where are you going with this, bro? Because I got a lot of family. from
They're
up
all
there.
lying, man.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Somebody.
You're right.
Somebody's
A lot of
lying.
dishonesty in the pasty.
That's right.
pasty world.
So
That's
maybe
right.
we need to have like a competition.
I'm thinking so.
I
You
mean,
know,
I
Fat Kid
can't
approves.
eat them, but
I
you
mean,
guys go for it.
Oh, I'll judge you.
Yeah.
All right.
Because they're all of them. They're right.
I've
all
never
of them.
had
And
one.
you know-
At
before.
that particular moment in my stoned life, that one
Yeah.
is the best. one.
And I'm very familiar with the pasties. And there was a specific place in was it Marquette on the way up when I would go on my fishing trips with Grandpa. We had to stop at this particular pasty shop on the way up there. And I grew up with my family. Well, my family's from there. My mom moved down here from the 5th grade from the UP.
Okay.
And so my grandfather actually worked in the copper mines and the iron mines
Nice.
Oh, man.
in
Way
the UP.
cool.
So when we talk about pasties, my grandpa did that.
Oh,
They
that's
would
awesome.
make the pasties and bake them.
Yeah.
And they would be ready to go in the morning, and they would wrap them up in these towels, and they would stick them in their lunch pouch. And then they would go underground to do their drilling, and they would still be warm by the time they took their lunch because they're underground. They didn't come
Sure.
up.
Right.
And so
Wow.
that's where the pasties came from. So my family, pasties was
That's the
not
thing.
just something you go, oh, let's try some pasties. You're like, Grandpa used to eat these for lunch like 5-6 days a week down in the
Right.
mine. I mean,
Right.
Right.
This is actual life here.
Yeah.
That's cool,
So it's
man.
pretty
I
interesting
love the
stuff.
UP. It's
Oh,
so
Beautiful country.
I love
If
it.
it wasn't so far away,
Right.
the 12-hour trip to get to Ironwood, where my family's from, it's just
Oh,
yeah. My mom was born in Ironwood, which is Ironwood, Michigan, and Hurley, Wisconsin. It's like the border cuts right through it.
Wow.
Yeah, and so it's literally a 12-hour, 11 or 12-hour trip depending on where you're coming from.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
Wow.
Wheezy's telling me to thank Verizon, which we are not sponsored by them, but we'll thank them. My dad says hello, y'all.
Hey, Pops.
And then Wheezy says my dad lives in Escanaba. That's enough Youper for me to deal with. Araya says, hey, y'all. Wheezy says, if I bring jerky to the show, I want to come on the night pot is legalized so I can smoke a fatty on the air. LOL. All right.
Oh, yeah.
We were just talking about that. We have a special guest coming on later, but we'll do some prep before that.
Yeah.
Right.
I brought a friend. Let's just say that. I brought a friend.
All right.
I'll leave that to your imagination.
That's right. That's
And then you'd be like, oh,
hopefully Joey's listening because that way he can actually see that we finally got him on here.
Finally got
I
Jeremy
think
on.
I would really hope. I give a shout out to Joey.
Yeah.
I'm hoping because Joey was.
If he
Joey would
listened to the
enjoy our
show.
friend. Yeah.
He listens periodically.
Yeah.
Wheezy
your
said flat earther.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
He's already started.
Let's not go down that road.
Yeah, we're not going there. We're gonna stick to what.
That's so funny.
Let's dedicate a whole nother show. For that.
Yeah.
Well, shit, I
In
headlined it.
2020.
You guys got to give me better notes.
That's great. That's great.
That's awesome.
I run a comedy page on Facebook, and I always put the links to our shows on, so
Nice.
people sign into the YouTube chat and have fun.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good to
Nice.
see everybody
That's fun.
joining
That's
in.
awesome.
Yeah.
We love your participation, and as long as you don't get too fucking weird, I don't mind reading it.
Yeah,
Bring it.
No selfies.
All right, I still read it.
No selfies.
As long as you don't
No
get any
bots.
trolls and
No
bots,
bots.
you're good.
No,
I had
no
bots
turkey
last
necks.
week.
You don't want any Russians meddling in the
No, no,
operation.
no.
No. No.
No,
No
so
Russians.
I had
The Chi-Coms can do whatever they want, but not the Russians.
Right.
now that my dad's in here, I had a really good week. We went and visited him, stayed the night.
Yeah.
Got a picture with him and sent it to my brother. My brother's like, "Where did you go, dude?" I'm like, well, doing that thing.
Yeah, you said that to me, and I was like, "Holy shit, who's that chick next to Pops?"
Right. It's fun looking at the old pictures and being like, "Whoa!"
Mhm.
And so, yeah.
And you're sporting the
My
ever so.
Stranger Things
Yeah.
shirt finally.
Yep.
Found this at Goodwill like last Halloween, I think, and I'm like, oh, I can't wear this. I will wear this.
Yes.
I
Yes.
am
And
now.
now you're
And I
wearing it.
sold Adam's flannel.
Only one more
Nice.
year till the next season.
I know,
Oh,
right?
Only.
They need to get
They're gonna
on
be-
that shit. 'Cause I'm jonesing, man. I need my Stranger Things fix.
That'll
And these
give me
kids are going to be
time.
30 by the time
I
they
know,
get
right?
back on.
Yes. It'll give me time to
But the hype builds it up.
get Adam watching the first and second season. So
And I still need to sit
So,
down and watch it.
Jeff's tuning in too. He says the Youpers band still active? Is the Youpers?
We'd have to Google that or
Yeah.
check it out. Sorry, did I use a corporate shill when I said that?
Google
We'd
that.
have to do a
No, we're
search
fine.
engine.
We're search engine.
Well,
We'd have
We
to
need
use
to
a
see.
search engine.
Yeah.
I try to use Start Page just because it's not as corporate, but I mean
Right.
everybody's bought.
I'm going to have to Netscape Navigator that.
Yeah.
They're out of business. We can say that.
Netscape.
Does my
Not
AOL
sure.
account have something on it?
Oh gosh, you've got mail.
Yeah. I remember my mom's instructions
Hold on.
were to start logging in at about 2:30 so I could hit that shit. Be logged in when I got off the bus.
That's
Mom, you didn't log it in. I have to
What
sit there.
are
Oh,
you
because
doing?
you were finished.
yeah.
Peak time by the time the kids got off the bus at 3, you're fucking done.
That is funny. Like I didn't have a computer growing up. Like we didn't have one. I got my first computer and internet when I was like in my 20s on my own.
I built mine because I stole parts from the computer lab at the school.
I got mine in 1996.
Yeah.
Wow.
96.
1993 from the old Apple IIs.
My parents bought me an IBM Aptiva from Radio Shack.
Nice.
And it was like $3,800.
Oh, yeah.
Like
They're
that. And the
ridiculous, dude.
printer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's stupid.
I remember my buddy Cameron, who was my best friend growing up in high school, and he had his family ended up with a computer, and I don't remember if it was I want to say it wasn't a PC, but it had this flight simulator on it.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like doing this flight simulator, and we're like, planes don't fly this slow. What the hell is going on? Because it was just so slow. Dude.
Yeah.
It was like
Right.
This has got like 16 megs of RAM.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what mine had.
Yeah.
Wow.
Back then.
A 50 megabyte hard drive.
Oh, mine was no. I had a big old 8 gig.
Do you remember?
Seagate.
Do you remember when floppy drives, dude? When you look up now, I was cleaning out something the other day, not at my place, somebody else's place, and we pulled out a floppy drive, and it's like 1.5 megs. And you're like, really, dude? I've got 128 gigabyte SD card, micro SD card in my phone.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, that is so crazy to think
The
about.
Xbox I got now is how many
1
terabyte?
terabyte?
No,
That's
2
two
terabyte,
or
like
3 terabytes, isn't it?
7, 4, 5,
Something like that,
that.
yeah.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
For days.
Yeah, it's getting crazy.
Technology's fun. We're gonna
It's
blow ourselves
crazy.
up.
I got a
Can't
new tablet, and once again, it said in the notes up to 2 terabyte SD card. I'm like, they don't even make SD cards at 2 terabyte yet. I've looked it
wait. They're
up.
planning for it.
Yeah, they're planning for it.
That's
for
awesome.
Sure. All that compression.
Wow. So, with you guys having kids, has anybody asked for any high-tech electronics or anything yet this year?
Yeah, my son's chomping at the bit for a PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is I'm a man of my word. I said, look, you keep your grades up, you pass all your classes, we'll sit down and talk about it come Christmas time.
You're right.
So, and great on him. He actually got a postcard in the mail from one of his teachers because he scored 100% on his science test.
Awesome.
And I was like, dude, that's going on the refrigerator.
That is a big deal for him.
Yeah.
That is
He's
huge.
killing it. I love it.
Good. What about your kids? Anybody asking for any high-tech electronics?
All my kids are like little adults now, except for my daughter, and she wants like all kinds of cool stuff because she's really cool. She wants a guitar. She wanted Greta Van Fleet tickets, but she already knows.
Hey, I know a guy who's fairly decent at guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't you both are?
He's
yeah?
okay.
I play all right. I don't play much. I'm getting back into it. Picked it up today for a little while.
Nice.
But yeah, hand's getting a lot better. So
she was the one that had lunch with us the other day, right?
Nope, that's Denise's daughter.
That's right. Okay.
My daughter's only 13.
Still trying to get the correlation of whose kid's whose kid,
Yeah.
Figure it out,
Cool.
man.
No,
Very
nothing crazy this year. They're not asking. We already bought them everything they wanted ever. So
Yeah.
they
Nice.
all got iPhones and computers.
You got it all. You got it all.
Yeah. I'm glad my kids are all, they got their own stuff. They got their own places.
They do their own.
Yeah. Well, I did a couple years ago. I bought a PlayStation 4, so when the kids come over, they can play it. So when William and
Jocelyn
little Tay comes over, and they get on there, and I think I have 3 games that all involve Star Wars. Surprise, Tony! Surprise!
I'm totally shocked.
So it's Disney, the Disney not Xfinity, that's Comcast, but the Disney Infinity.
Yeah, Infinity.
So I've got all of the little characters that you can put on the base, and then they pop up in the game.
Nice.
And then I've got Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2 Star Wars. Those are the only games that are allowed on my PlayStation. Now you can play my PlayStation, but that's it.
Yeah.
I like the old Star Wars games. They had like the Knights of the Old Republic.
Those were some cool
those
games.
were the RPG ones.
I seen something really cool at Walmart. They actually have not miniature. What kind of miniature cabinets?
Okay.
Game cabinets, and they have a whole one that's all Street Fighter.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
and then they had Rampage, and then there's like 3 games on each one.
Nice.
It doesn't have a spot where you can upload anything else,
but
actually, they're still really cool.
If they're the same ones that I saw, Heather, those are just the graphics on the outside of the game. And if you look at it, it's preloaded with like 140 games.
Oh, really? So
it's just the graphics on the outside because they're made to be the
Walmart?
the little arcade games.
Well,
I saw them too. Because I've had in the past. I don't remember.
Yeah.
You remember on Gully Road, Tony? We had the arcade game there.
Yeah.
It was preloaded with like 150 games. So
that
now
was
they're
cool.
starting to market those where they're not the big arcade games.
$300.
Yeah.
$300.
Yeah. It stands probably about this, and you can actually get a base underneath it.
Yeah, those
totally
are the ones
get that
I
in the
saw.
studio.
Oh, it was so fun.
Yeah.
Me and Adam were playing Rampage, and it was so fun.
Really?
Yeah, a couple years ago. Very fun things in Bay City.
Oh yeah. I remember you showed me the commercials for it. You kept fucking up the takes.
Yeah. Took me about half a day to get through that address part, where I was located.
Yeah.
Back in the early days.
Very cool.
But yeah, I had 19 upright classic vintage 1970s, 80s arcades and
nice
3 pinball machines. And they had all that, like 8 Xbox Ones, 8 PlayStation 4s. I had them all networked together, all the accounts and all that. And
See, Road Blaster was my jam, man. I remember just spending hundreds of dollars in the arcade on that.
Road Blaster?
Yeah.
I don't know that one. Street Fighter was mine. That's why when I said
that and Terminator
I was like,
2.
Oh.
Mortal Kombat. I spent a lot of time on MK2.
Yep.
And Street Fighter and all the fighting games.
Terminator 2 was a fun one. That and the Aerosmith Revolution game, which was similar to the Terminator 2 one.
Operation Wolf was hands down my favorite.
We have to take a trip to Marvin's Marvelous Museum, Mechanical Museum.
Yeah,
he's got all the older games and stuff, and they're still like $1 and everything, and you get tickets, and it's pretty cool. That's very cool.
Where's this at?
It is down in Fenton, I think.
Oh.
No, wait. Farmington.
Farmington.
Just let me know.
Yeah.
I love video
games.
That's closer to home for me.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Got a couple things in the chat really quick. Sasha says, I still need to sit on Santa's lap and tell him what I want. Araya says, all I want for Christmas is money so I can save for a car. Yeah. I hear you there.
Who's Santa? I'm not seeing one in the room.
No, Santa here.
I see a gnome.
No,
I'm not seeing a Santa.
The Wicked
Elf, motherfucker.
The Wicked
That's racist, man.
The Wicked Woods of Terror is actually putting on a holiday lights thing, and on our crew page, she posted, "I need somebody to play Santa." It's like, you got 2 weeks, man. You got 2 weeks. So I thought that was kind of cool that they're doing that. So those dates I'll have to pull up and share with everybody.
Well, speaking of traveling, Chris, myself, and Nate went and did a little road trip down to Lapeer.
We did.
Yes.
And
I was working.
It was incredible. We we blew it up and knocked it out of the park.
Yes. Great meeting.
Granted, I sat in the back like a little schoolgirl.
He was taking notes.
He was taking notes.
Awesome.
So we sat down with Sean at Solid State Radio. And come to find out, they've been fans of the show almost since the beginning, because they started out 2 weeks after we actually started this show.
Yep, and me and Joey had met them.
Yep.
And also the guys from the local Scream.
Yep.
Well, we met Mark from local Scream, and I think the Rev off of there.
Yeah.
I think that's his name.
So anyways, we sat down and we chit-chatted. I'm not going to go into any big details, but now you can hear the show
many details to give.
Twice a week, because we do it here on this platform, live streaming, and then Sean and Adam at Solid State Radio will be airing it Saturdays from 4 to 6 on their platform.
Absolutely.
So
sweet.
If you guys like what we do, hell, go to Solid State Radio and check out what they do, and give us a listen on Saturdays. And Solid State Radio's got some cool stuff going on too.
They
do.
They
have a paranormal show I want to check out.
They do?
Yeah.
I didn't know that they did. I guess I'm gonna have to check into our is this our sister station or brother station?
It's brother station, I guess.
Brother station.
But no, you can actually go on solidstate.net and hit the listen now button, and you can hear everything that they have going on right now in the studio, which is so cool. Yeah, we're probably going to go over there and blow them up one of these
kind of
afternoons.
Partnered up with them. They're also airing our shows that we do with Mitch Gill as well.
Yep.
So if you guys are missing out, if you're not listening to those shows, you're totally missing out.
Yeah, Mitch is
hilarious.
Mitch is the bomb.
Yep, he was there too, wasn't he?
No, Mitch actually did Live with the Picks.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
with
that's
Solid
also
State Radio,
on there.
And that was just so cool, because it's literally
free.
Right down from Solid State Radio.
Right. Wow.
So you guys can catch us on Solid State on Saturdays from 4 to 6.
4 to 6,
and they make it really super easy.
Oh yeah.
All you have to do is just push listen live.
Yep.
Go and you'll hear us.
So that we got that going on, and hey guys, go out, show support for those guys, because they do. Sean is just incredible. He's the program manager over there.
Yeah.
And he's got 50 gajillion things to throw on the schedule, so everybody gets equal time.
He's got a nice full schedule. There's a little bit of something for everybody.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have a hard time finding at least one thing on there that's really cool.
And they do the Armchair Athletes, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Some
and
of
is
the
that
stuff
Adam and him?
Adam and him, yeah.
Adam Horcrux.
Sure.
I might have said that wrong, but he's very cool. They both are very funny guys. Musically,
and they're coming to the studio this Sunday.
So we're gonna have a special.
And we're gonna do a pre-recorded show. We'll probably drop it sometime next week.
Yep.
But they were excited about coming to the studio, and they wanted to sit down and chit chat and check our stuff out, because we got to check their stuff out.
Right.
And it's pretty cool. And Chris, walking these Chris. When Chris walks into a room, it's like a big dick in a locker room. You know, it's just kind of like, oh, okay, we're going here, because he's like, oh yeah, I do a page on Facebook called Very Bad Things, and I'm going to shamelessly promote for a minute.
I think it.
And Chris is like, so yeah, I've got almost 20,000 people that I go through and post something, and they're on it like white on rice and a paper plate in the snowstorm.
Jeez.
And it was great because Sean's eyes got about this big, and he's like, oh, so Chris shares Solid State Radio, the link on Very Bad Things. I get the notification on my phone, and it's like, oh yeah, there it is. And Sean was like, wait, what?
Yeah. And then I flipped the phone over, and I had what? How many people were in the pipeline trying to get in the page?
1,500.
1,500, yeah.
Yeah.
I let them guys all in.
Yeah.
I wonder how many there are right now. I haven't looked, but
wow.
Every day.
Huge thing going. So we got a lot of stuff, really cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be working with those guys and that they're throwing that stuff up there. And
plus we have the Thanksgiving episode next week.
Oh, yeah.
Which is going to be crazy. We don't really have anybody for that. So if you want to come crash the studio after getting hopped up on tryptophan.
Yeah. Come hang out. Come hang out.
It's going to be so boring.
Oh, yeah. Because the four of us in the studio here.
Full guy. I'm going to throw some shit down. I already planned it.
So current events, obviously I'm going to be the downer for a minute. Stan Lee.
Oh, Stan Lee.
What a bummer.
Man, I cried some man tears when I found that out. I'm like,
What's
not
that?
Stan Lee. I mean, yeah, the dude was 95, but come on.
But I mean, that's a good life.
That is a very good life.
Yeah.
I posted on the Don't Make This Weird page. It shows him going up to heaven. He's got 2 suitcases in his hand, one saying, like the Marvel and everything. And then it says, like, as God saying, you create some pretty good, or you created a really good universe yourself, kid. Not too bad, kid.
Right, right.
Nice.
So I thought that was cool. And then going down the road by the Mount Morris exit, there was on their billboard, their electronic billboard, it showed a big picture of him, and it said when he was born in this year for death. And so I was just like, oh man, right in the feels.
I know.
But
my tribute too.
Let me see this.
But also,
is that Betty White?
Of course.
That is Betty White. What the shit?
Isn't that the funniest meme?
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Check that out. It's the Mortal Kombat tower.
Oh god.
And Betty White's just going up on the other side.
Wow.
You missed me, bitch.
So also another cool thing, we were visiting Connor and the kids were out, playing in the play place at McDonald's. And this other little boy, he comes up to me and he goes, I'm a superhero. And I just thought, yep, if Stan Lee without creating all of that right there is, why this little boy's like, yep, I'm a superhero.
See, what's cool is like when he did his column in the comic books, and you actually read some of that stuff, he talked about some pretty racy topics and getting these readers and stuff to be, proactive and to do stuff. I mean, he talked about politics, he talked about religion, he talked about, so many different rights movements. Was huge.
I read part of his bio, and they were talking about when they approached him and said, start up some comic books with superheroes. He really didn't want to do it,
right?
Because that wasn't what he was into at the time.
Yeah, he wanted to be a writer, or novelist, or whatever.
Yeah, and they were like, just try it. And so he got together with his whole crew that was there. Yeah, which eventually developed into Marvel. Right. And he was like, all right, let's try it. And Fantastic Four was the first crew that he came up with. But the big thing with me was with Stan Lee is that he's one of those pioneer guys. He came from humble beginnings, just worked his way up and became an icon. And how many people's lives he touched. And he was like so humble kid about that Heather was saying. So that to me it should inspire all of us, to go, you know what? Look at this guy. This guy made comic books. Right. And yet how many people appreciated what he did? And you're right, Tony. He worked a lot of information into his work, and we can all influence people, through our work to hopefully. One
of the cool things I liked about Stan Lee and how he developed his characters, whether it was the Hulk or Spider-Man or whatever. Captain America. They were all relatable.
Oh, Captain fought the Nazis.
The Nazis.
He was actually drawing that while he was in World War II.
Yeah, it was a big morale booster.
Right. And what was incredible about that is he made each one of these characters with a flaw. I mean, when he did the whole Iron Man thing, he tackled, the huge thing at that point in time was alcoholism.
Right.
And he put it not only in his characters, but he would do it in his columns too, which was incredible because it was like, wow, here's a real guy talking about real issues.
Yeah.
And then offering possible solutions.
Real solutions.
Right. And then other people reading that and getting on board with that. I mean, with us, we can identify with that huge. And I say that as a blanket statement, but that's the whole reason why we started this podcast is let's have real people having a real conversation with real people.
And that's what's missing in a lot of places,
Sure.
I mean, I've been in the church world for a long time. Tony knows.
Yeah.
And, that realness is missing. You can't drop an F-bomb and then have somebody respect you. It's like, come on.
Right.
You know what? We're real people. I've had more great conversations with people and helped more people just being real. And it's not because you dropped the F-bomb. It's just part of it. You're just living life and doing your thing. We got to get up and put our pants on. We can still have a relationship with God and not be all stuffy and full of crap.
Right. I mean, I've had some of the greatest conversations with pastors doing shots and playing pool.
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, how many pastors do you know that'd be like, oh, well, my congregation knew about this?
Yeah,
like,
I've said
are you serious?
Right.
Yeah, I've said it for a long time how much people are there. It's like, oh, I don't cuss and I don't drink and I wouldn't do that. And they describe all these exterior activities. I'm like, yeah, but you don't love people the way you're supposed to.
Right.
And you don't care about them. I mean, Tony, this, you've been to my house.
Yeah.
We've taken in people that lived under bridges and we've taken in people
Bart.
that were, Bart was beautiful. And when he passed away, he got cancer.
Oh, dude.
But I mean, he was sober for the last 6 months of his life.
Yeah.
I would come down, he's reading his Bible and he would stop me and he'd say, hey, can you clarify this passage? I'm reading this thing. And when we did his little memorial service and I said, a lot of people say that this person's gone on to be in a better place. I said, but he was in a better place before he went.
Right.
And that was because we took, not just because of us, he had to make that decision himself, but we took him in and we were real. And there were times, Bart, where he got into my wine bottles and stole a couple bottles of wine and drifted off. And I was like, I got right in his face and I lit him up. And, he's out. See, he goes out in the barn and he's sleeping on the couch in the garage. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, well, I can't come in the house, apparently. I'm like, not if you're drinking. You came to us and said you wanted help with this issue and we're going to hold you accountable, but we're still going to love you. And if we got to, cuss a little bit and then cry and hug, that's what we're going to do. And we're going to get through this.
And that's that real human condition of, we're all fallible. We're all going to misstep at some point. But if you can just give a shit about somebody real raw,
absolutely,
it's that cathartic relationship of, my emotions are going to get the better of me. Your emotions are going to get the better of you. But at the end of the day, we're still brothers in arms going, hey, how many other people can we help out here?
Absolutely. At the end of the day. Yeah.
That's just always been really cool. Not only doing this podcast, but doing the meet and greets and going out to events and stuff like that, just connecting with real salt of the earth people.
Absolutely.
I respect that more.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Like you said, you're man of faith or whatever, but you are a real person and I'd rather have you be you and show that than sit there and oh my gosh, I can't be this. I can't.
No, we have this
people.
Right.
Yeah. We have this persona that you can't be a real person and be spiritual and have a real connection, at the same time. And it's like, that's a false reality. It's like, I want somebody that's been through the mud and the dirt.
Right.
A little short story, and I'll leave the names out of it, but you remember the situation, Tony. I had to confront at the time was a family member, not, but she was on her way out of the family.
Yep.
And I had to confront her. And I'm in the yard and I just, and I lit her up and I didn't hold back the cuss words.
Right.
But I said, you're not living up to your fucking potential and being the person that God's called you to be.
Yep.
And the shit that you're pulling right now, I said, you're choosing to be something than who God ordained you to be. And that shit's not going to fly with me. And I'm using that. These are, pretty similar to the exact words, straight up words. Okay. And I get done with the conversation and I think, oh Lord, I probably, how was I always go back and I go, all right, Lord, how bad was that? You know, was I just, you know, how displeasing was it to you? And did I do more harm than good?
Right.
And he immediately brought my memory back that while I was getting in this person's face,
right,
the 5-year-old, you know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
She came up and put her hand in my hand as I'm doing it.
Right.
And he instantly brought me back to that memory.
Right.
And he goes, if you were being harsh and not operating in love, of course your tone was stern and corrective, but he said if you were just being angry and mean instead of being lovingly corrective, that little girl wouldn't have been comfortable. But she came right up, grabbed my hand, and was standing right next to me, knowing that it was tough love.
Right.
And that's the type of stuff that people respond to. That's the type of stuff that people, you know, need. It's not that you need the cuss words, but you need the realism. You know?
Yeah. Chris and I had a very similar conversation over our celebratory lunch, which I still got to get you back for dropping all the cats.
Yeah, it was good lunch.
But no, it was cool because we were talking about that and how, you know, Chris grew up with having religion crammed down his throat. He's like, I'm good with all that shit. Yeah. And it was funny because at that moment, I immediately connected with Chris and went, dude, I grew up Baptist and fucking hated it.
Oh, dude.
And now, you know, as my walk and my faith and so on and so forth, I was like, because when he immediately said that, I was like, brother, because I know that he suffered some fire and ice of people that focused more on religion.
Absolutely.
Instead of the human condition. Yeah. And going, look, I want to cultivate a relationship with you. I don't give a shit what you believe. Let's connect. Let's be brothers, man. And it was so cool because we were chit-chatting and talking about all kinds of great stuff. But that was a real defining moment of me connecting with Chris, of going, this dude's been through the same shit I've been through.
Yeah. Organized religion is the greatest hindrance to an actual relationship with our creator.
Absolutely.
I mean, and it's amazing. I focus, you know, Tony, I've been doing this. I've been involved in the church in and out because I quit periodically. I just go,
yeah.
The organized aspect of it, you know. But I've been for all my life, but I mean for 25 years actively. Yeah, I talk about relationships. You can have a relationship and not deal with all the religious minutia or I mean, if we want to say it real straight, it's the religious shit.
Yeah,
the rhetoric.
The rhetoric. Yeah,
rhetoric.
Well, the indoctrination of bullshit.
The reality is that well, the reality is most of it is such hyperbole. It's not stuff that's real. No. They get up and they preach a sermon. When I get up and teach a whole series on spiritual warfare, or a series on dealing with bitterness and forgiveness and stuff like that, it's number one, I go, this is how I overcame this stuff. When you see the smile on my face that's not fake and you see that I'm a happy person, it's because I had to walk this shit out and deal with my own heart and deal with these, you know, deal with all this stuff. And so when I'm up there teaching, I'm like, I'm teaching from this position. And certainly I go places and I'm still invited to places. I've got a service that I'm going to be part of here in a couple of weeks. And I can't be as flippant with my language there. Okay. Sure. But I mean, the funny thing is most of the ministers that I'm with, they're just like us. Yeah. But they know when they get, the key to it is not being fake, but understanding that the person I'm ministering to, I need to be sensitive to them. Right. If I want to get the message across to somebody that can't handle an F-bomb in a sermon, then I'm gonna curtail that. The same way if I am with a friend who can't, you know, they go, oh, I'm sorry, I was cussing. I'm like, what the fuck do I care? You know? And they're like,
mirror man.
They're like, oh, aren't you a preacher? I'm like, yeah, but you're talking about a cuss word versus cursing somebody. Yeah. Right. I know so many people that don't use cuss words. Yeah. That'll straight up as a Christian curse the hell out of you. And you're like, really, dude? What you just said is more damning than if you dropped an F-bomb. So stop being fake. Figure out who you actually have a relationship with and straighten this crap out because they're hurting people, dude. I've got, you know, one of my spiritual sons. If I'm being sensitive to names. Right. He's going through hell right now. Right. And and we're working on and getting him back to Michigan because what he's dealing with, is just out of his control, and he's in an environment where he's being sucked back into a world that he can't get out of. And I've had so many sons like that. If I started naming off names, you know, the kids that we've done, all the spiritual sons and I get on the phone with them and I'm like, all right, man, you're dealing with this, you're struggling with that, but what are you going to do about it? And they're like, man, and the reason I bring it up is my one spiritual son on the phone the other night. He goes, Dad, I'm just in a bad fucking place and I don't know what to do. And he said, I just see the best solution. I can't go to rehab anymore. I don't have the money and they won't pay for it. And he said, I need to get out of this environment. And he said, you know what? I want to come back to Michigan because number one, it's a departure from where I'm at. And number two, you always speak straight to me.
Right.
And you bring me up and you help me out, but you don't pull punches. You let me know what I'm doing and you love me through it. And that's what people are looking for real. Because the religious crap that you guys went through and the stuff that I've experienced, it's like, dude, ultimately, all you're doing is raising up hypocritical, fake people who, at the end of the day, they just they fall apart and become It's like, you're not real people. So, anyways, it's funny that we went down that road because there's some other stuff that we wanted to get into. It's a little bit more lighthearted and.
It's got like super serious. I'm like, I want to go drink now.
I got the Di Serrano right here.
I was going to pour him up a glass, man.
For radio listeners, I have a nice glass of Di Serrano. My ice is melting, so I don't know if you need to impose on Nate to do a refill.
Well, that goes back to the conversation that Heather and I had on one podcast was don't be a shitty person.
Yeah.
If you're going to listen on purpose. Don't sit there and be like, oh, well, thou shalt not, thou shalt not, thou shalt not. You know what? Okay, great. Fine. If you're going to stick to your ideals, that's great. But don't sit there and impose those ideals on me when you don't even know who I am as a person.
Truly loving somebody is being sensitive to who they are to the best of your ability. Because you can't really, but I mean, if you're going to love somebody, and I think that's what Jesus said, right? He said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Yeah.
And I've turned to people before in church years ago, and I said, I know why you don't like me. You don't like yourself.
Right.
And it's hard for you to like me if you don't like you, because it says love your neighbor as you love yourself. So
Heather actually just started a new series, and it's called You're a Badass.
You Are a Badass by Jensen Tarot. There we go.
Talks a little bit about that.
It talks about that, and it talks about pretty much going after what you want. Just do it, because people around you are constantly going to, oh God, don't do that, don't do this. If you start this, it's like the whole fearmonger thing.
Yeah.
And she said that when you hear people like that, cut them out. Get rid of them.
Chris and I were talking about that over lunch. It's like, why do people wait around to be given permission to do something?
No, man.
We just do it.
We're just doing it.
The series is so good. It's on audiobook on YouTube for free. You can listen to it. And it talks about like how we have our relationships with money too. And how like we grow up with, when we start out, we don't have any fear.
Right.
We are just learning everything. And then we start collecting all these different things from our family and people that are teaching us to be scared and to, have all these different, to be in this comfort zone and to also have this like really weird relationship with money. Like they teach us that it's evil and that we shouldn't have it. But what do we do all day long? Every single day we're using it.
Right.
So why should we hate it so much?
It's a tool to get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
That's
it. So
money
she talks.
hates me. Thinks I'm a dick.
You have to listen to You Are a Badass. I'm telling you, man.
The funny thing, they take that and they say money is, even Pink Floyd said, money is evil.
Yeah.
And no, money is the root of all evil. And if you actually study out the Greek in that, what it says is the evil is toil or useless labors or fruitless labors. Okay.
It's the power.
And it's talking about the fact that when you make that your God or you make it your focus, then you'll toil at something that's ultimately useless.
I thought it was the love of money.
What'd I say? The love of money. Yeah. But I'm talking about the root. They say the love of money is the root of all evil.
Right.
Okay. Well, they just say money is evil.
Right.
And then you're out there and you go, well, I got to make money, but it's evil. What it is, it's a subtle way of putting you into a place of perpetual condemnation and guilt instead of understanding, wait, if I love this thing, then there's a root within it that is ultimately fruitless and effortless. But if I'm not in love with it and I use it, what you just said, Tony, as a tool, then I'm just using it as another tool. It doesn't. And so, because the reality is we can do a lot of good with money.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Just as much as you can do a lot of bad with money. And we were talking about, businesses doing businesses
Yeah.
earlier. And it's like, that's the good stuff that you want to do with it, but it takes
time. Yeah, it takes
money.
getting it.
Our brother Bill taught me a lot about that.
Yeah.
You know, when he took me to school and teaching me about, you know, the guys like J.P. Morgan, you know, Paul Rothschild, John D. Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie.
Yeah.
All of these guys, they didn't love money. They just simply loved the fact that they won no matter what they did.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was great. Yeah. When you get to that point and you're talking oodles and oodles of cash, it's not about that point. It's about the power of what you can do with it. I mean, how many different philanthropy things did Andrew Carnegie do in the final years of his life? I mean,
if you go
zillions of dollars donated to churches and
there were
homeless shelters and you name it.
There were hundreds of thousands of churches throughout the United States and I think in Europe and stuff.
Oh yeah,
that had full-blown organs.
Yep,
donated to
pipe organs.
Yeah, like donated to their churches through Carnegie.
Yeah,
yeah. Just and well, it was a Carnegie or was a
Carnegie.
Carnegie did a lot of the libraries. We got in Humble, we got a Carnegie library. So you know, I mean, those guys have their had their controversial sides as well. But I mean,
of course.
But they did. You know, that's what it's for. It's a tool.
Yeah.
You know, but if it's your goal, if it's your focus,
I need a lot of tools because right now I don't have any.
Well, one of the things in that book she talks about is the whole manifestation thing.
Yeah.
And before I thought of it, I'm like, yeah. But then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try this. So we got pulled over. And I'm like,
try part?
I'm gonna try
sipping on gin and juice.
No, we're driving home, and I have headlights out, so I put on my brights. I just haven't gotten fixed yet because I'm working lots of hours.
You know it's hot out here.
So apparently, Adam was going 65, which my speedometer's wrong. My gas gauge doesn't work. My headlights are out. Right.
In a 35, is that what you said?
No, in a 55. So he pulls us over, and they both come up, and they're flashing their bright ass lights in, and I'm just like giving them the evil look, pissed off cat look, So we give over everything, and normally, you know me, the sky is falling as soon as something like this happens.
Yep, chicken little.
In my brain. So I was like, okay. Nope. Wait, hold on. Because I was like, we don't have the money for this ticket, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Nope. They're going to go back to their car. They're going to put us in the system. They're going to come back. They're going to hand us our license over. And they're going to tell us, get that fixed and have a good night. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that would be protocol.
Yeah.
Power of expectation.
Yeah. And then I said, okay, so now we're going to get home safe. We're not going to have any more crap happen. We're just going to make it home safely. Pull up to Purdy Road. There's a cop right across from us. And I'm going, okay, let's test this out and see. Made it home safe. Didn't get pulled over again.
Nice.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to try more of this.
Did you get your headlight fixed?
Try more of the positive projection.
Right.
But get those lights fixed.
You're right. I got to get this fixed. Yeah. Like I said, we're on the 10-hour shift.
I can see.
I got to get it done. But yes, I use my brights. Right.
Sometimes if you go to the auto parts stores and ask those guys, they will change them for you.
Yeah.
Especially if you drive in there by yourself.
Yeah. Adam's up north right now, and I'm just like, okay,
just drive
tomorrow I'm gonna have to drive this.
Perfect. Show some leg.
Yeah, I'm like, look at my leggings under my pants because I'm fucking cold because I'm smaller now.
Do what you got to do at Bronner's. Show them a little glitter.
Yeah, you know what?
Just pull out the tube.
All right.
Check this out. Yeah, you live, sleep, eat, breathe glitter throughout the holiday season. It was pretty cool though. I had a little bit of nostalgia though because I was walking out to leave the other day.
Yeah.
And the guys there, we have these huge ornaments that are taller than me, and they go for about $3,000 to $5,000 depending on the size.
That's insane.
And
why is that?
Apparently, people do.
Not me.
Haha.
I don't buy that.
But on the bulb,
that people buy that.
No.
Right on the bulb, there was a Sesame Street. And it was like Christmas at Sesame Street place or whatever.
Right.
I was like, oh, that's pretty damn cool, So I was like, this huge ass $3,000, $5,000 bulb. I'm going, okay, take my picture.
So do you guys
Can you
like
tell
have
me?
Well, go ahead.
What's
Sorry, I was just gonna.
How to
ask
get there?
If you
Yes.
could tell me how to get
On the
to
way
Sesame.
on the way downstate, there is a Sesame Street. Mm-hmm.
Very good. Sorry, Chris.
Go ahead, Chris.
It's okay. Mine was stupid. Compared to that, I mean, I was just gonna wonder about the artists that you have. I mean, like if I want like a ball and like I want something really specific.
Yeah,
like, they'll draw it out.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
really.
My mom, for a while, she'll do either. She did a number of years. She would do the date and then have our name put on it, or she would take a picture in, a photograph, and they would glue that on and glitter it and do all that stuff, and she would give us those ornaments for the year. So the Browners does a lot of cool stuff like that.
They do a lot of really cool stuff. And also they do, like, for us, if we have kids that are under 4th grade, they do a whole like Santa Day. They bring our kids from all of our workers, they bring them in and they have their own little invitations and everything for them to come to this little party. And then they do all kinds of really cool stuff. They even get an ornament. I'm like, this is pretty cool. I work for a pretty cool place.
Yeah, shameless promotion for Browners, and they should probably give us
the after parties. She's leaving that out.
No, there's not. Well, the Christmas party.
It's insane.
The Christmas party is insane. Last year we had at least 900 people. They run out the Event Horizon Center, and they have open bar, and they have also spots that have just pre-mixed drinks already up, and then they've got like appetizers before we go and actually have our full meal. So they've got like, I think 3 different stations that are set up, and we always have a theme. Last year was Disney. And then for dinner, they've got like 4 different tables set up, and it's like, I mean, it's ridiculous. And after that, they take all that out, and all of those 4 tables, these huge ass tables, are full of desserts.
That's insane.
And then they had,
open bar, dude.
Dance floor, hot
diabetes.
Right. They got like a coffee bar and everything. I mean, they go all out. It's really cool. And then for like the people that have been there 5 years and up, they start them out on, I think they give them like a piece of a village, like Christmas village or some kind of thing.
Really?
And then the ones that are higher up, they get a black music card. I don't know how much on, but they get money with that on top of it.
Nice.
So I mean, it's pretty cool. I work for a really cool place.
That was almost alcohol abuse.
So
just the cap. I got to give a shout out to your guys' intern. He came a little bit earlier today. I got a chance to get out of work a little bit early, and while we were eating Chinese food, your Asian friend showed up, and
the
so
Asian supremacist.
He wouldn't eat any of my. He wouldn't eat any of my my fried rice. I was kind of. I thought I would be the cool one. Like,
yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he just went. Nate, the intern, just went and refilled my glass with ice so that I could put a fresh dousing of Di Serono, and then as I'm putting the cap, the big top back on my bottle, I dropped it on the floor, and he picked that up as well. You guys have a fabulous intern.
Yeah.
Speaking of fried rice,
only went to school for 5 years.
What's that?
Speaking of fried rice, is that still in the fridge?
It is.
Yes, it is.
But if you're gonna reheat it, you have to either dump it on a plate or watch the sparks fly out of his microwave, because it does have the metal handle.
Who the hell said I was warming it up?
Oh, my bad. Cold Chinese food is the best.
You just gotta get an intern, dude.
My bad, dude. Okay, eat it cold.
Cold Chinese.
I'm the intern, not a miracle worker.
I've seen some people eat some stuff cold, and I'm like, that's not.
Yeah.
I eat a lot of things cold. I used to. I don't know. Well, actually, I eat things more cold now because it takes me forever to eat it to begin with.
So, you can eat hot dogs without cooking them?
I do know. I'm good.
Yeah, they're fully cooked before.
Yeah. When we were kids, I used to do that. So
just because he can do stuff.
Sorry about the handwriting.
What am I looking?
It sucks
the talking points we're still trying to cover.
There's some talking points. I didn't see this.
Oh yeah, I'm doing a craft fair Saturday.
I knew that.
I wrote it down.
Go.
Novesta Church, or no, not Novesta. Oh my God, Ellington.
Wow.
Ellington, outside of Caro.
Yep.
It opens up at 8:30 and ends at 3. Me and Becky will be there. Becky from Ducky's Doodads.
Yeah, Becky's awesome.
And Dragonfly Boutique. I will be doing ornaments.
Sweet.
Of the own that I buy personally, and then I'm going to personalize them. If you want any of those, Send me a message, and I can do them, and then we can work something out too.
Chris wants a very bad things ornament.
I do.
You do. I don't blame you.
Right.
Middle finger on it.
Speaking of that, dude, for my birthday, I got a new set of billiard balls. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you've been in the barn.
Yeah. Hello. We shot pool and did shots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And we drank some great red wine mud I had.
Yes.
That
Yes,
was
we did.
incredible.
Yes. That was after the memorial. That was a good time.
Yep.
So I got a brand new set of billiard balls for my birthday. And my mother-in-law got me a brand new cue ball. And it's a skeleton hand with the middle finger up on the cue ball. That's the cue ball. It's like that is so awesome. It's like, F you balls, you're going to the hole.
Competitive pool.
Mind you,
pool, dude.
so when we were down there, okay, this is after the memorial service, it was funny because we spent what, half an hour trying to level the pool table?
Oh, yeah, because Pastor Ken came in and he was like, he immediately looked at it and I'm like, dude, I've moved it a couple times since the last time I played. You know, I've been jamming out in here. I haven't been playing pool. And he's like, I handed him the big level. I'm like, have at it, buddy. Have at it.
And it's a fast table to begin with.
Yeah.
So being that it was all cockeyed and whatever.
It's got some sweet spots.
Dude, I'm telling you, like you'd hit the ball and like it's on a downward slope, but then for some odd reason, when it gets to the other side of the table, it'd curve and go back the other way. And it's like,
and that wasn't English, man.
Right. I'm shooting shit here. So,
It wasn't English, no.
Just shitting in the wind.
I do have, I've got to schedule the guys. I'm going to have it refelted.
Nice.
It's going to cost me like the 25-year felt.
Oh, sweet.
On the bumpers and the tables, like about $700. A buddy of mine that I skate with is going to hook it up. And I'm like, okay. So hopefully that'll be done because we're thinking about doing a New Year's bash where we play with a band. And I got to talk to you about that because we might have to get a couple extra bands in the barn. And we're just going to do a big New Year's bash because we played for my birthday. We played like 7 songs for everybody.
I've got probably 3 or 4 bands on deck that would be down for that.
Yeah. So we had quite the bash there.
Yeah, we've had some great bands come in the past couple of months.
Oh, yeah.
Labora, We the Infamous.
A couple weeks ago or 3 weeks ago?
Oh, yeah.
We the Infamous actually just went down for the America's Got Talent.
Really?
In Detroit.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I guess it's going to take until about February to hear who got on or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of a wait.
See, that's the thing is you come on their show and then you become famous. So
right.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Get some of that.
We're the catalyst.
You're right, Tony. All of my YouTube followers on my Jesus channel. Have no idea who I am.
We'll make sure to put the Buddy Christ symbol up.
With a worried look on his face.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, we've got some things wrong.
That was a great show.
Dogma was an incredible movie.
Dogma was
Yeah.
hilarious, dude.
So another one of the talking points was All I Want for Christmas Open House is hosted by Brooke Mallory. That's going to be in, I have to scroll. It's going to be in Cass City.
Chat's blowing up.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out in just a minute. All I Want for Christmas Open House, holiday, vintage, rustic, handcrafted. There will be coffee, cocoa, and goodies. The cabin on Seeger is where it's located.
Cocoa leaves, man.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So she just kind of like one door closed for her and she's like, what am I going to do now? And so now she's just kind of starting her own business. So
cool.
I'm definitely supporting that. I'm going to go check that out. So if anybody,
congrats on that. Keep being epic.
Cool. I mean, that's the thing. That's part of it. You just do it. You're going to have a lot of people tell you, don't do it. What about this or what about that? Well, you know what? You're not going to get anywhere listening to the what about.
Like I said, it still hasn't quite sunk in what we've all accomplished, especially going down there Saturday and talking to Sean.
Yeah.
We're sitting there just being goofballs. And it was great because I pointed out to Nate, and I'm sure you picked up on it. We walked into Detroit Burgers, the place we ate lunch at.
Yeah, the burger joint.
So anyways, we're sitting there and there's like 1, maybe 2 people in there. Mm-hmm. And of course, hanging with our crew, it gets ridiculous really quick. And
offensive.
It was great. So all of a sudden this place started to fill up with people. And as we're carrying on and talking about some of the stuff that we're looking forward to doing and then taking Don't Make This Weird and Strange Friends Media to the next level, it was great because everybody in close proximity of us stopped talking and started listening into what our conversations were about. And it was
especially their children.
Oh yeah, it was great.
They're like little magnets to fill.
I'm not sorry.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sorry.
Apparently, I cannot type any messages to anybody. It's giving me errors.
Did you break it again?
No. Araya said that that's her best friend, so that's cool. Yeah, I grew up with her. She's my cousin's cousin, actually. So I'm really proud to support that.
Would that be a second cousin if it's a cousin?
No, it's my aunt marriage.
Cousin,
my aunt's side of the family. So.
The cousin's uncle twice removed.
Right.
I'm my own grandpa.
And the play.
Oh yes, my daughter has a play coming up, and she plays the drunk old lady, which is great.
Cheers, mate.
Exactly.
Cheers.
And she's worked really hard on this for the past 3 months, I think it is.
Wait,
so
drunk old lady.
Yeah.
Cheers. Cheers. I'm going to have another drink, and I would like you to join me.
Here's the best part about it. She comes to me and she's like, "Dad, you've been around a lot of drunk people. How do they act?" And I'm going, "Wow, really, kid?" Which, I mean, she totally nailed it because of the industry that I'm in. So I gave her some tips and whatnot. And apparently she used them, and her teacher was impressed how well she portrayed a drunk person. And I was like,
she wasn't portraying it. She was drunk.
Right.
I didn't laugh at my daddy.
So what are the details on that?
The play is Friday and Saturday, 7 or 7:30 is when doors open. Tickets are $7 at the door. You can get tickets early if you go up to the high school. Apparently seats are selling out quickly. It's first come, first serve.
What's
and
it called?
They have assigned seating. It's out. You can't take it with you is the name of the play.
Okay.
Wow. So
assigned seating.
Yeah, it's weird.
I've never had that when I was in place.
I don't know. All I know is I'm going to be there if I have to shank somebody in the parking lot and take their ticket.
I must be in the front row.
That's where I'm at. Yeah. Cool. Very cool. I hope that I'll get a chance to go.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night I work late, and then Saturday I've got to pick him up at the exit. So I'm gonna try.
I'm looking forward to it. So
she's gonna be awesome. That kid she's going places.
Well, it was funny when she did the audition, and apparently parents weren't supposed to be there.
Oh.
And they were asking her what experience she's had in the past.
Uh-huh.
And she looked at me and I'm like, YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting there mouthing it to her because she's on stage. So she starts talking about her YouTube channel, how she has 100+ videos. Mind you, she's done all of this by herself.
Right. Oh, yeah.
She has something like 5,000 views. I mean,
wow.
it's ridiculous. And she's been working at this for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
And just killing it, coming up with her own content, doing all of her stuff. And it's great because she just, hey, Dad, I'm going to do this. All right, cool. Go do it. And I love it because she's taking that mentality and that mindset that I've had for, good God, probably the past 20 years of I don't wait on anybody to be successful. I just go do it. I don't need permission to be successful. And she's running with it. And, you know, my son Sean is, and my daughter Alexis is just, you know, she's starting to get her bearings and finding something of interest that she can be good at, you know, the tech center and whatnot.
Good.
Sure.
And it's like, this is cool because now my legacy moving forward, when I get old and decrepit and I'm starting mosh pits and old folks' homes with wheelchairs, they can pay for their therapy.
Absolutely.
When?
Shut up.
My bad.
Yeah. Speaking of like the theater and stuff, I had seen on Facebook, of course, because that's news and everything now.
The Book of Faces.
Evermore Park, where it's an actual live, interactive D&D kind of thing.
Where is this?
That is
Utah.
cool. Yeah.
I would love to go and do a road trip doing that too, because it just seems so cool.
Yeah. Watching that video was just awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they actually send you on quests through the whole course of the thing to where you go get quests and you level up and then you have to show like your fortitude or whatever the hell it is. And then they like, you know, help you level up with doing these different quests. It's really freaking cool.
Really?
Yeah. I'll have to find that video and share it on the page.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
I went to Renaissance for the
first time. I'll have to write that down to remember. Did you? And Holly?
Yeah, some of my friends in the past have invited me, and based on who invited me, I didn't want to go. I was like, if you're into it, I'm not probably going to be into it. And actually, somebody that I would have not guessed was into it. She's like, yeah, I got tickets, and would you like to go? And I'm like, okay, we'll go. And of course, we walked in there, And we weren't there like an hour and a half, and Tanya and I were buying whole outfits.
Oh yeah,
we just had to
so
geek out on it. So now I've got 2 of these really badass hats with the whole feathers and everything like that, and I've got the jacket and the pants. And,
so fun.
And she bought outfit, and we're like, all right. So then we went to the Queen's banquet. What was it called?
The Queen's dinner.
Yeah, it was the Queen's dinner, but it's called the. It's got a specific
sweet
name.
Endings
we got
something.
so it's the Sweet Endings weekend, but we got the glasses, the commemorative glasses with it.
Yeah.
And that was a fabulous dinner, great food. And then we actually went back because they gave us discount on tickets for the next one. We went to the Phantom's Feast and finished that out. So it was actually I was quite impressed. And then you get there and you're like, yes, I'm Count whatever. They're like, I had some ladies come, they're like, and who are you, my lord? I'm like, I don't. No, I'm still figuring out my identity, but don't I look?
You have to go to the hookah hut, dude. Just saying.
There was so many places and they were cool. I was checking out a lot of blades. There was a lot of. Well, we took Al in there. Al was checking out the whole knives because there was like 4 or 5 of them that just gorgeous, exquisite. Steel work on the blades, man.
Yeah.
The folds in them are just gorgeous.
The Damascus.
So now you're gonna have to come check out the Mid-Michigan Renaissance Festival.
Dude, totally.
When's that one?
It's in June.
Yeah.
Where at?
Last 4 by Frankenmuth, Vassar and Frankenmuth area.
When did they start doing that?
10 years ago.
Yeah.
That's all you had to say. I got an outfit now.
See?
Man.
And it's
you
really,
come there and do shenanigans with us because we're generally across from the jail.
Shenanigans.
I finally had Adam watch that Super Troopers. Now we got to watch Super Troopers 2.
So
we were talking about that eating Chinese.
I want 10 liters of cola right now on the table. Bring the ticket.
Yes.
Yeah, great show.
Oh my gosh, he was dying laughing.
Did you just say liter of cola?
Liter of cola.
Did you just say liter of cola? Are we playing a tune over there, Tony?
No, I'm trying to share Pete's stuff live here. So
Oh, Pete's live.
Yeah.
Pete was fun. Pete's a cool guy.
Pete Schuin. If you guys missed that show, go back and listen to it because it was incredible. Wow. He just has one of those hauntingly good voices. Mm-hmm. And he plays the ukulele, and you're like, how can a ukulele be cool? This dude makes it cool. Mm-hmm. He did this cover of, was it When Doves Cry?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, dude, it was just sick. And he did this one original right at the end of the show. It was Leilani or whatever the heck the name of the tune was.
So pretty.
And it's like a Samoan Hawaiian type thing, and it's just such an incredible song. The way that no, it was just
on the ukulele.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Just and he sings with such conviction. You're absolutely hypnotized with his performance.
And I found out that he's 50.
What?
That blew my mind.
Pete's 50?
Yeah.
No way.
Exactly.
Not even close.
And we said that we said it on the show, and he's like, "It's the fat." That's what he said. I'm like, yeah, I can start to show my age now.
But no, just an incredible musician, and I mean that's what's great about having this position and doing what we do. We get to meet some of the most coolest people on the face of the planet.
Very cool. Which brings me another point.
Yeah.
Because on Sunday we're having Sean and Adam come in and we're going to do a show with them. So if you are interested in getting on the show, we can always look at a different time and re-air, like as a special or whatever. Yeah. So if our schedule doesn't work, you know,
expand the show.
Yeah, come on and join us. I mean, we're always down to have a good conversation.
Oh yeah.
If you're not talented, I mean, you're okay, but
I play the electric kazoo.
The Bavarian cheese whistle.
After weed's legal, are we going to be allowed to smoke in the studio?
No, because I got too much equipment here, man.
I'll put you in a box.
We have the green room, so we'll be good with that.
Is that room green?
It can be.
Green spots on the garage floor.
You now.
We'll be hanging with Midnight out in the green room. Be like, "What's up, Poppy?"
I don't think green spots of paint on the garage floor count as a green room, but we'll go for it.
I mean, you know, we'll get the heater going out there and fire it up.
Well, don't shine a black light out there; it'll glow purple.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So when is it all supposed to happen? I know some people are so controversial about it.
Well, they have so much time to officiate the ballots, and then from there they have like a year to make all the laws. So whatever they don't make a law within the next year is not illegal. That's how you find loopholes and stuff like that.
So,
wow.
What are we
pretty excited about?
What are we talking about?
The legalization of recreational marijuana. Proposal 1.
Yeah.
Yep.
Apparently, my dad told my grandma that if she'd feel better if she just smoked a little bit. She was like, "I will not smoke that." Apparently, she got very upset about it.
Oh, my mom is dead set again.
Of people that need to smoke weed.
Oh yeah, my mom is dead set. She the next day after they had passed,
You're not gonna do that, Tony.
she comes barreling into the kitchen like a rhinoceros on roller skates. I am so cross with them passing that proposal. I'm like, Ma, did you vote? Yeah. I'm like, well then, okay.
There's a couple other things they voted for in our state that I wasn't happy with.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when I was.
I was like 1, 2, 2. 2 and 3 were fucking no's.
Now, here's the thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I was talking with Taylor about this.
Yeah.
That they incorporated the hemp
yes.
into that.
The micro license.
Yes.
Nice.
No, that's cool because
and that's one of the things I was an advocate of for a long time. It's
absolutely.
I'm probably not gonna smoke weed, and it's never been my thing.
Right.
But I want to be able to grow industrial hemp.
Oh hell yeah!
And that's all wrapped up. In fact, that if you study it, and we've probably in this room have all studied it, that was the main impetus for getting rid of marijuana, was to get rid of industrial hemp.
Right.
Because DuPont and Dow Corning and some of these other companies were bringing out synthetics that were competing with it.
Yeah,
and it's like,
absolutely.
I mean, the amount of paper that you can get out of an acre of hemp versus trees, the amount of clothing that you can get that doesn't destroy and rape the soil like cotton does, the amount of hemp that you can get hemp is the only product other than silk that you can refine as fine as silk.
Yeah.
The amount of plastics or plastic ware that you can get out. You can make plastic bowls out of hemp oil.
Yeah.
And then when you're done, throw it in your blender, throw it in the backyard, and it'll compost. I mean,
oh my gosh,
it's ridiculous. And we're using that for oil. I mean, everybody that says they're against using oil, we got to get off fossil fuels. It's like, dude, your whole cupboard is full of oil products. They're all oil products.
Petroleum.
So all you think about is the gas pump when you go out there. But the reality is the oil, dude, is everywhere. It's in every plastic product that you've got. That's an oil-based product.
Well, and not only that, with the lumbering industry, it's almost bankrupt now?
It's like 10 years for an acre of trees to mature before you can harvest them to paper. And we can grow
it's insane.
It's 4 months of hemp, and that in a single year, and it produces 6 times what those trees will grow in 10 years.
Oh yeah.
And so the logging industry is against it. All the other chemical industry are against it. I mean, at the turn of the or when he did the assembly line and stuff like that, Henry Ford brought people in. They had a car completely built out of hemp that was running out of, well, not the steel motor, but I mean the body frame and everything like that was completely built out of hemp, and it was running on hemp seed oil and was highly efficient. And then the oil producers came in and said, we want to make this the standard. And so it's like, it's crazy, man. So I'm excited about that aspect. Taylor did tell me he keeps pushing it the day after the vote.
Yeah.
And he says, so Dad, when we lighten up? And I said, they've got to certify the election before that. But he said, because I came in at one point when they were like 14, 15 or something like that. And I caught him.
Right.
And I'm like, when it's legal, maybe I'll even smoke with you. But until it's legal, I don't want it in the house and I don't want it here. You do whatever you want outside the house. I'm not going to be one of those guys that acts like it doesn't exist.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But we've got ministry stuff going on and trying to help other people. And if somebody came in and this was here, that's jeopardizing what we're doing as a ministry and stuff like that. So listen, do it outside. So he's like, Dad, you promised. I'm like, did I promise? He's like, yeah, you promised. You're like, look, if they ever make it illegal, I'll smoke it with you. He's like, you said that. And I'm like, damn it.
And the cows have come home.
So okay, we have to smoke it at my place because I'm going to take a hit and fall asleep. The 3 other times I've smoked weed in my 46 years, that's what happened. So that's what's going to happen.
See, that's the thing is I like you. I've never been a big fan of weed, and I don't slight anybody for smoking it. I mean, hey, do your thing.
I've advocated when Bart was living at the house.
We
went and got him his medical card.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's dying of stage 4 cancer, lung cancer. And we're like, dude, This is going to ease your pain, and it's not that freaking morphine where you're not alive anymore.
Right.
You're just a shell that's so zonked out you're not even there.
But the whole hemp thing, I mean, I studied that when they did the smear campaign for the lumber companies and saying that, hemp destroys this and hemp does that, and it's not as efficient, and the refining process takes so many years. No. And I'm like, really? Have you guys picked up a history book at all?
Dude, in the during World War II, there was it was called Hemp for Victory.
Right.
And they ran they pushed every farmer that had an open field or available field that was to grow hemp because they made canvas out of it. That's where cannabis comes from. Canvas. All of our rope was hemp rope. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, as soon as World War II is over, there's this big push to get rid of it and to classify it a UN classification of being Schedule 1.
Yeah.
It's like, how ridiculous, dude.
So
You're gonna put pot. I've been joking around with some of the guys in the locker room. I'm like, yeah, the guy gets pulled over and they're like, you know why I pulled you over? He's like, well, no. He's like, you were doing 20 miles an hour and you're on the shoulder.
Right.
That's what's going to happen when somebody's high on pot. It's like, this guy wasn't weaving. He was leaning towards the shoulder going, how fast am I going?
Right.
You're doing 10 miles an hour, man. Could you move a little faster? He's like,
I'm just taking my time.
Just taking my time.
When you're drinking, you're just like, I could go 120. Woo! Hold my drink,
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. I was following that dotted line right down the middle of it. Yeah, well, that's not where you're supposed to be.
Not supposed to split your car in half.
I'm just going to the store to get some Hostess and, just get some munchies.
I was drugged up and felt like Pac-Man eating the dots as I was going along. Those weren't dots, sir. Those were dash lines. And you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, some of these anti-marijuana people are real assholes. I was reading the news and stuff, and they're still not going to shut up.
Oh yeah,
no.
Of course they're not.
Every ad that I saw watching Facebook or watching YouTube videos and stuff like that, every ad that I saw was either a cop, a retired cop, a retired judge, a retired prosecutor. Every single one of them. I'm like, are you guys kidding me? I've seen so many people prosecuted for marijuana, and it's
so stupid.
Dude, it's so stupid.
Right.
So stupid. It's one of the most innocuous. The worst you're going to do is get high and do nothing.
It's like, what do you do for a living? I am a professional fun sponge. I will fucking suck that shit right out of the air.
Well, here's my question, and it goes back to the time of Prohibition. Great. Don't fuck up the legislation. Plain and simple.
Right.
Write it right. Make sure it is down to the stupid person's level of comprehension.
Right.
And make the legislation right.
Well, they can't fuck you if everybody can read it properly.
Well, that's my point. I mean, come on. You have documents that have stood for 200 plus years of the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence.
Right.
Right. Now they don't teach
Bill of
cursive
Rights
anymore.
Right.
They need
Bill of Rights.
to read that shit.
And now while they're at it, they can write it on hemp paper.
But the founding
the Constitution is written on.
Yeah.
But the founding fathers, some of them warned. They said when laws and legislation becomes so long that you can't even read it.
Right.
That in and of itself is a danger. And that was one of the things Nancy Pelosi said was signing the Obamacare.
Yeah.
She was like, well, you've got to sign it and pass it into legislation before you can read it. We've just got to pass it. And then you'll be able to read the 2,600 pages of this legislation later. And it's like, are you kidding me?
That's insane.
And so they do the same thing. Well, this war on drugs that we've had for since Nixon has been an abject failure. I mean, it's and anytime you introduce a prohibition of anything, you create a black market and you create such
it stimulates the cartels competition.
Absolutely.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, the Christians led the I think they were duped in a lot of ways, but they still were at the forefront of leading prohibition of alcohol. And it created, I mean, the mafia was still there, but it took the mafia from being small time hoods shaking people down to kings. International
Las Vegas, man.
I mean,
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous.
Chicago.
And the same thing. You legalize whatever it is. Now, I'm not against. I'm for decriminalizing all of this stuff.
Right.
Decriminalizing all of it. Because if you decriminalize it, not legalize it and tax it like we're doing with marijuana, we're doing with alcohol.
Right.
That's a different thing. But if you decriminalize to where it's no longer a criminal offense, it's been shown wherever they've done that it decreases usage.
Yep.
It wipes out the black markets for it, and ultimately less people are destroyed by it.
Right.
You take away the power of the cartels and the legality of it. And so
Look what they did with music in the 80s with the parental advisory stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
As soon as you saw the parental advisory, you're like, I'm
My
getting
kid
that
listened
one.
to Judas Priest and
Right.
our whole family.
But you look at the guys that came and represented saying, look, you guys are infringing on our First Amendment, freedom of speech.
Yeah.
You got Dee Snider, John Denver,
Yeah.
who was brought up to the federal court saying that Rocky Mountain High was talking about smoking a joint in the Rocky Mountains. And then you have Frank Zappa, who just went, well, you guys are just absolutely ridiculous.
Dee Snider, I've watched
job.
a couple times.
Yeah.
I've watched a few times Dee Snider's testimony just in
Dude.
and he's so articulate.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you do the persona that he does in his videos and
He's
on
super
stage.
smart.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow. And then you watch him in front of Congress and his delivery is spot on.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he just lays them out. He's like, are you people kidding me?
Right.
You're the reason we write the songs that we're writing because you're such a bunch of tight asses
Right.
that can't relax enough. We're going to write a bunch of songs that get right in your face.
Right.
Sure.
It's like ridiculous.
Love
dude.
it.
Well, that's the great thing about rock and roll. And,
The Rebel Rockers.
you know, I love the fact that I told my son, Sean, I said, look, I will listen to any music that you're listening to. And I said, 9 times out of 10, if it's good rock and roll, I don't care. Play it at 11. And so Sean's friends
11.
started coming over. And they're like, well, your dad's pretty cool. He's not all busting your balls about listening to rock and roll. And I'm like, dude, I grew up listening to Motorhead, Judas Priest,
Right.
Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, Slayer,
Sabbath.
Black Sabbath. Oh God,
Dude.
my grandmother on my dad's side despised Black Sabbath.
Oh my God. I love Black Sabbath.
Oh God, it was great. And then Ronnie James Dio from
Yeah.
Dio. Oh,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Sure.
Holy diamond.
So, you know how we were talking about the whole everybody not getting on board with it?
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
older lady that I used to work with, I'm not going to mention her name, wrote, how many people don't smoke weed? Oh, wait, I bet you ain't sharing this. So in the comments, apparently her granddaughter or... No, listen. So what she did was she made a picture, took a picture from her profile and put a joint up to her mouth. And then apparently took one of her other grandma and did the same thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
So the old lady's like, I will kick your ass. This is not funny. You better not make that as my profile picture.
Oh my God.
And she's like, what is that in your mouth? Look at that. And she's like,
called
you're
a
not
blunt.
funny.
It's called a blunt.
She's like, it is funny. She's like, no, it's not. She's like, love you, aunt. So apparently it was her aunt.
Super
And then she
funny.
took one of her.
That's awesome.
Love you, sweetie.
How just what we were looking at that. I was just like, oh. That's
Well,
pretty
speaking
funny.
of that, so we've got one more guest to bring on before we close this out.
All right.
Can you go grab him up, Jeremy, real quick?
Yeah, I'm gonna get him. Make sure he's. I'll check on.
All
I'll
right.
check on him. And, yeah. So, go ahead. Let me see. Yep. What's up, man?
Welcome to the show. Glad you could finally make it because we've been trying to get you on the show ever since Joey was in the studio.
It's a long time ago, man.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm really, you can't tell because I'm a little toked up. I'm really excited.
This is Search
Be
Engine
here,
Steve,
man.
y'all.
Search Engine Steve.
Search Engine Steve. You can ask him anything. He's better than Google, and he'll give you a real answer too, which is great about it.
Right. But there's certain things I don't do though, man. Like I don't do math. Right? Okay.
Did you say meth or math?
Either one, but I was saying math, but I meant meth. But like math, man, you got a calculator on your phone, man. Don't ask me what 0 plus 0 is, man. I'm doing that. All right. So, but yeah, we do the search engine, and it's been fun.
So we can ask you anything.
I don't care what you ask me, man.
All right.
We get paid by the hit, so. When you hit the bong, man, I get paid, and then I try to do my best.
let me see if I can try this and kind of give our listening audience an idea on how to do this. So, Search Engine Steve,
Yeah.
is there a good brownie recipe out there?
There are really, really good brownie recipes, and so I would say, like, do a search engine on it, and you'll find a really good one. So what I do, I tell you that there's a good brownie recipe out there if you search for it. So I don't give you like the exact recipe, okay, man. I give you like kudos that there's a good recipe out there. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? Because we all need encouragement, you know? So you need cocoa. I know there's some sugar somewhere in there. You put some weed in it, right? There's probably an egg or two and some milk and stuff like that. But the exact ratios and stuff, man, I'd have to look it up. But you know what I'm saying? That's what I do.
So I think it's going to be official that we can go to search engine Steve instead of Google, because you're not going to get these real answers.
I'm dealing with life issues, man. Like, you know, if you want to know how to get to Steve's house, not my house, but I just speak in third person sometimes. But if you want to get to Steve's house, man, you can punch that into a program and it'll tell you. I'm not going to tell you. You don't want me telling you. I'll be like, hey, man, you just missed your fucking corner, man. You should have turned back there, dude. What the hell? So you don't want that, man. You'd be like, this guy sucks. You know, I feel bad about it, man. So look, if you want to do maps and stuff, you know, I mean, there's map programs. But if you want to know, dude, if there are good recipes out there for brownies, I'm going to tell you yes. So when you hit that bong on search engine Steve, I'm going to be like, sup? There's some really, really good brownie recipes out there. And if you do a little research, you find a good one.
So do you guys got any questions for search engine Steve?
Well, how about with Christmas coming up, Steve? What would be a really good present for my future mother-in-law?
I would say, I don't know your mother-in-law without knowing her, but I mean, your mother-in-law, future mother-in-law, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I get her a bomb. Now here's why. Here's my logic. Okay. She probably wouldn't know what it is.
Probably not.
Okay. So it just looks like an ornament. Let her put flowers in it or whatever.
Like a vase.
Right? Like a vase. Okay. But if she does, then she's like, dude, they just passed a law. You're the coolest daughter-in-law I've ever had. Right? So
True.
See how you got it covered? So if she doesn't know, it's a vase. If she does know, you're hitting it up with your mother-in-law. Now there's a bond there, right? Next thing you know, you're making fucking brownies.
The best brownies ever. Because you know that there's a recipe out there.
Yeah.
Rocky Mountain High.
That's right.
I don't even like John Denver, but he was cool when he sang that.
I think his only saving grace.
Him and Joe Walsh, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
see?
it was.
Bunch of stoners.
I in Colorado.
Is there any more questions? Because I get paid by the hit, man. I'm just saying. That's me. When they told me, they're like, you should do a search engine. I'm like, all right, why?
Why? That's
like,
too much work.
You get paid. And I'm like, how much? Like, you get paid by the hit. I'm like, anybody who gets paid by the hit's got to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because usually we gotta
potential.
pay for the hit. But now, you know what I'm saying? All right, speaking of hits. So Tony, what you got, man? What you got? I gave Tony really good advice one time. He was like, Steve, that's me. And he goes, Steve. And I said, yeah. He goes, actually, I said, sup? And he goes, what's a good recipe for lasagna? I was like, dude, that's easy. You pull off the paper foil, you preheat the oven, you poke the holes in the top of the metal, and you slide it in, and then you set the timer. That lasagna will turn out perfect every time you follow directions.
There's no boiling or nothing like that to it.
No, man. It
was Stouffer's, wasn't it?
I don't know, man. It had directions on it.
Sam's Club, great value.
Something like that. See? He's like,
good.
lasagna.
Yeah.
He's like, boom, I got you covered, bro.
Yeah.
See?
He's helped me out a lot.
That's the type of stuff you get from Steve.
Search engine Steve.
Search engine Steve.
And one time he wanted to know where Taco Bell was. And I had to get after him. I was like, you know where Taco Bell is. And while you're there, pick me up something because I got the munchies, man.
Nothing like some great F meat.
Yeah.
That's right. Part kangaroo, part horse.
Sawdust corn shells.
The face you are making.
Purring, man. Is this kitty or what?
Yes.
Yes.
No, Taco Bell is legitimately gross.
Oh yeah, yeah. All the diabetes.
Not so much.
So we were talking earlier about the passing the law, man.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on that, Steve?
Dude, that is the sweetest thing, man. I'm like holding off, but not really holding off. You know, I'm like, as soon as they certify, I'm good to go. But you know, I'm not really holding off until.
So now, which one are you doing, Steve? Are you growing hemp or are you growing weed?
Yes.
I think that means both.
Yes. You know, man, you can't grow them in the same place.
Yeah, I know.
Industrial hemp will wipe out your shit, man. You can't. Can I say shit on your person?
Yeah.
Please.
Industrial hemp will say, it'll wipe your shit out, man. So I mean, like, you gotta keep them separate, bro. You know, got your hydroponics set up, and you got your grow lights, and then I mean, hey, that's another question.
What's that?
How tight do you roll your joint? I had this one the other day, and I was like, bro, you roll it as tight as you need it to. And that dude was like, thank you, Steve. And that made the world better.
Yeah. Yeah. One joint at a time.
Exactly. Roll your joint gently down the tray. Lick it, stick it, smoke it up, and now you're on your way. If you do a left, right, forward / enter, you'll get that on the Steve app.
What?
That song will come up.
Nice.
Yeah, don't ask me to repeat how that goes.
You just get paid for the hits.
I absolutely get paid for the hits, man. You hit it says right on the front of the app. It says hit the bong for search engine Steve, and when you hit me, that's what it says.
Yeah.
I need to do a hit. Let's see. Smooth, man. That's some good stuff.
He's not tired that he gets to smoke in the studio. Just saying.
It was part of my contract. I came in, I was like, I don't want no of those fucking red M&Ms, and I'm smoking a bong the whole damn. I was going to try to do it intravenous, but I'm like, dude, that takes away the fun of doing my bong.
You got to have the light. You got to.
Your bong or your vase?
Well, I just recently switched to the torch thing because I got tired of her. My finger would get all raw from flicking the cigarette from the lighter. I would be rolling it. I realized the son of a bitch was empty because I smoke a lot of weed.
The color crack thumb. There's a term for that.
So I had to go with the torches, and I'm kind of, I keep an extra torch, man, because you don't want to run out. You know what I'm saying? You keep an extra bag, and you gotta don't drink the bong water. They say it's good, but don't.
No.
I have another question for you.
I'm looking. So,
how do you find the Don't Make This Weird podcast?
Well, Tony's my buddy. He sent me a link. You find it on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
We're YouTube streaming and stuff. No, but Tony, he's like, I'm subscribed to you guys.
You hit the bell.
Yeah, like I went on wherever I go, and then it had the thing, and I clicked that.
So you hit your bong, and then you hit the bell.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, with Tony, I was like, I'm subscribed to you, bro. You're the coolest, man.
We get paid by the hit too.
You get paid by the hit?
Yeah.
If you like the channel, hit the like button and subscribe. Make the channel grow.
That's right.
Right?
That's how you do that.
That's what I do with the search engine. I'm like, ask me some questions. Do I have all the answers? Fuck no. But you know what? We'll have fun on the way to getting to one.
Yeah. Well, we're glad that you could join us here in the studio, Steve.
It was my pleasure.
Search Engine Steve.
Search Engine Steve.
I don't do math. I don't do directions. I don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't even do my laundry, man. My mom does. Thanks, Mom. Give a shout out to Mom. She's listening. She does. But anyways, thank you guys for having me out. I appreciate it.
Oh, wait. Somebody from chat wants to ask Search Engine Steve a question.
Do it. Sup, chat person?
Ava Maple Baby says, "What is the weirdest thing you did?"
Weirdest thing I ever did? Well, remember like a couple minutes ago I said don't drink bong water. Okay, that's like from personal experience, man. Don't drink that shit. That's like, it's not good.
Were you able to see colors, or how did that work?
You know what? I saw a toilet. Because that's where I was throwing up.
What color was it?
It was white. It was porcelain. It had a lid. I think there was a little smudge mark in the back that wasn't mine, so it was really creeping me out. What the hell is this, man? This is not cool.
So of course that made it weird.
Of course.
Oh, it's extremely weird. So I hope that answers your question. That's one of the weirder things. I'm kind of a mellow dude. I hit the bong. People hit the app bong, and that's Mom does laundry, and I eat Doritos and play video games.
You know that there is a good brownie recipe out there.
There is a great brownie. I've had those brownies because people ask me, I'm like, what do I look like? Some corporate Alexis shill? I'm Search Engine Steve, man. Listen, listen, when you think Search Engine Steve, think philosophy. Think deeper thoughts, man. You know you've been high.
The dude abides.
The dude, you had to go there, dude.
That's right.
Dude is like my hero. I got posters. I bought that fucking tape that he has of the bowling thing, and I sit on the floor with my headphones on and listen to the people bowl like he did.
There you go.
That's how I get all juiced up for people calling.
What?
When they hit the app, dude, I was like, I was just listening to Lebowski, man.
The dude. All right. Well, thank you for your wisdom.
Yeah.
And on your way out, if you can remember, can you let Jeremy know?
He's probably come back in. He probably got drunk out there. It's a bit of a lush. I don't know anything about addiction, but he's a lush. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
Cool.
Oh, we'll
got to give us the later, Steve.
Later.
Until Thanksgiving.
Until Thanksgiving.
That's the next one.
That is.
Yeah.
Big calorie day. I'm dreading it.
I'm not. Well, I kind of.
Is he actually trying to walk, or is he open? What is he?
They call it a wheelbarrow race. They're being weird.
Help him out the door.
Why do you think carrying him by his pant leg? Weird.
Oh boy.
Is he okay? Did he just fall?
I think so.
What did you guys do to him?
Dude, he sat there and hit the bong the whole time.
The whole time.
I
told you guys if I brought him up here not to let him hit it the entire time. Dude, there's been times when he gets on a streak and people are just like asking questions and he's like literally I think you asked me earlier, Tony, if he was doing stuff for real.
Yeah.
Or whether it was like a canned recording.
Mm-hmm.
And that son of a bitch literally is hitting that bong every time somebody hits the app. He's hitting that bong.
Yeah.
He's got a happy life.
I'm pretty sure he's butt chugging that bong water.
He's steamo-ing at the bong water.
I don't know, man. Last time he did that, I was holding his hair. And it was not a pretty sight. And I'd just taken a massive dump just before he got in there, so it had to be horrendous. I think I even left skid marks in there.
And on that note, folks, I think it's about that time. We've
Next
got
Thursday.
some early mornings coming up for us. So
That's
if
right.
you want to share this, like, subscribe, do all that fun jazz. Also, if you want to re-listen to it again, you can do that on YouTube, or you can go over to our brother station.
Solid State Radio.
Tell your friends.
Listen
That's
live. We are on there Saturday at 4 until 6 o'clock. So
Yep.
you guys can re-listen to the episode, share it, whatever you want to do.
And go like their stuff too on Facebook. It's Solid State Radio, or you can go on their page, solidstate.net.
All kinds of stuff to
Just
listen
cool
to.
stuff to listen
Good
to. They got
content.
paranormal stuff. They got the armchair athletes. These guys are just really
Play
cool
some
people.
local bands and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Get some interviews going, whatever, like kind of like what we do.
Yeah.
But a different kind of a flavor text there.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us and for listening and just checking
Search
us out.
Engine Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Dude's crazy, man. I'm telling you what.
Wait, no, don't drink that now.
I've met his mom, dude.
Yeah?
She's like a saint. to
She's
put up
got to
with
be
this
a
shit.
saint,
Oh,
man.
I'm like, she's got fans upstairs because she'll have people come over for like a bridge club and stuff like that. I don't even know what the fuck a bridge club is. Like, what is that? They play bridge?
It's I think a card game.
I've
Isn't
played on a bridge, but I don't know if that's the same.
it?
Yeah, it's a card game.
Like that. Is it a
It's
card
an
game?
older
Bridge
game.
card game.
Bridge card.
There we go.
Bring their
Now
bridge.
everybody's caught up.
I got $120 on mine. I'll bet you for it.
Yahtzee.
Yahtzee.
Some
So
great drinks.
yeah, she's got the fans up there to clear it out because the dude, it
But it gets
permeates the
foggy in
house.
there.
When I pick him up, dude, there's like remember Pigpen from
Oh,
Charlie Brown.
yeah,
Ooh.
Yeah.
well, there's a cloud of weed around Steve.
Is that how that works?
yeah, I make him ride in the bed of the truck. I'm like, I don't care if it's 20 degrees out.
You're right. I'm sure he's warm though.
Well, thanks again for
If he's not, he's so stoned he doesn't know.
thanks again for bringing him up and coming and hanging out with us.
Yeah,
it was
and
my pleasure.
everybody.
Come back on the show, will you?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Enjoyed it immensely. You guys are great.
We will see everybody next Thursday.
Deuces.